ever consider that you might be the toxic one in your cycle? Shocking, right? But it's a brave question to ask yourself. Today we dive deep into the science that it's not them, it's you. We are not here to point fingers, we are here to grow. By the end of this video, you'll not only spot these signs, but also know how to flip them into the positive vibes. You know, we all spend a lot of time trying to figure out who the toxic people in our lives are. But do we ever stop to think that sometimes we might be the ones acting toxic? Let's face it, it's much easier to spot the flaws in others than to turn the lens on ourselves. Sometimes even the nicest people can do things that aren't very nice without even realizing it. So, what does it mean to be toxic? Well, it's when someone keeps doing things that hurt others or make life harder for the people around them. But here's a twist. There is a difference between being a toxic person and just doing toxic things. Being toxic, it's like when someone really enjoys making others feel bad. That's a part of who they are. Acting toxic is when we sometimes do things that aren't nice, but we don't mean to be hurtful. So it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's more about certain behaviors and attitudes that can have a negative impact on those around you. To figure out if you might be causing trouble or upset for others, keep an eye out for the next warning signs. First sign is constant criticism. Constantly criticizing people can really wear them down. It's like pouring rain on someone's parade. Let's say you are always pointing out how someone does their laundry wrong, criticizes the way they park the car, or even comments negatively on how they talk or laugh. This constant fault-finding can make them feel like they are never good enough, lowering their self-esteem and happiness. Imagine being told every day that the way you tie your shoes or slice your bread is wrong. Sure, feedback is important, but there is a thin line between helping someone grow and making them feel small. Alright, so let's dive into some strategies on how you can communicate better. First up, we've got what I like to call the sandwich method. You start with something positive, like a compliment. Then you gently slide in your constructive feedback. That's your cheese or veggie patty right there. And you know what? You finish it off with another slice of positive bread. And here's another golden nugget. Celebrate the small wins. Look, it's easy to overlook the little things, but acknowledging and cheering on even the tiny steps forward can make a huge difference. It's like when someone's learning to play the guitar. Instead of waiting until they can play a whole song perfectly, cheer them on when they get a few chords right. It boosts their confidence and motivates them to keep going. The second sign to watch out for is using sarcasm too much. We all enjoy a good laugh, like the kind we get from our favorite comedies on TV, and think it's cool to be witty in the same way. However, making jokes at the expense of others can actually hurt them in real life. This kind of humor might be something you're used to, maybe because people at work always have to be tough, or your family loves teasing each other. But always being sarcastic and poking fun at others can eventually make them feel worn out and upset. If all you do is tease, your jokes may start to feel more like thinly veiled insults. Before you speak, especially when giving feedback or reacting, pause and think. How would I feel if someone said this to me about something important? This quick pause helps make sure your words help, not hurt. Whether it's advice, a joke, or a comment, considering the impact of your words first can really change how they are received and their effect. Ever had someone give you the silent treatment instead of just saying what's bothering them? Or maybe they are always procrastinating on things they promised to do. That's called passive-aggressive behavior. It's like when you are angry or upset, but instead of talking about it, you show it in sneaky ways. Imagine this. You ask your friend to help you with a project, but they keep putting it off and making excuses. You know, they are mad at you for something, but instead of talking it out, they act all grumpy and uncooperative. It's like playing a game of hide and seek with your feelings. Instead of saying what's on their mind, people with passive-aggressive behavior hide behind silence, stubbornness, or subtle jobs. But here's the thing. It only makes things worse. It's like a weed in a garden. If you don't deal with it, it just spreads and ruins everything around it. But there is a way to fix it. We just need to get better at having those tough conversations. It's scary at first, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. Just remember to be kind and helpful in your words. Instead of hiding behind passive-aggressive behavior, face the issue head-on. It's the only way to stop it from growing and ruining everything. Controlling behavior isn't just about bossing people around. It can also involve pushing your own beliefs into them. Imagine you have found this amazing solution to a problem you've been struggling with. Whether it's losing weight or finding inner peace, you want everyone you care about to benefit from it. It's natural to think that if more people believe what you do, it somehow validates your own beliefs. So you start preaching your friends and family, hoping they'll see the light too. But here is the thing. Forcing your truth into others, it's like cramming food down someone's throat. It's uncomfortable and invasive. This desire to fix others can often lead to toxic behavior. Some of us are naturally inclined to be rescuers and fixers. Maybe we've been trained to solve problems or unconsciously seek out similar relationships to fix dynamics we couldn't control in our past. But the truth is, people aren't projects that we can fix with a set of instructions. Each person is unique, with their own experiences, challenges, and ways of coping. What works for one person may not work for another, and sometimes people need to figure things out for themselves in their own time. Instead of trying to save or fix our loved ones, we should focus on living our truth and letting them see the positive changes it brings to our lives. When they are ready, they'll come to us with questions. And when they do, we can gently guide them without being pushy or controlling. Our role is to support, not to dictate. It's important to know when our attempts to help others become harmful instead of helpful. Accepting people as they are and giving them space to make their own choices can lead to better and happier relationships. Imagine you express your concerns to your partner about feeling neglected in the relationship. Instead of listening, they immediately become defensive, saying things like, "I do so much for you already. Why are you always complaining?" This reaction shuts down the conversation and makes it challenging to address the underlying issues. But here is the thing. There is no need for defensiveness in a healthy relationship. When conflicts arise, both partners should feel comfortable discussing their feelings without fear of judgment or hostility. It's understandable that being vulnerable can feel uncomfortable, especially in the face of criticism or conflict. But just like other signs of toxic behavior, the first step is recognizing it. Once you are aware on how you are reacting, you can start working on challenging it for the better. It might take time and effort, but it's worth it for the health of your relationship. Sometimes, when we want to make a change in our lives, we face an internal struggle. One part of us wants to move forward and transform, while another part prefers to stick with the familiar. Imagine you are in a job you don't enjoy, but it's familiar and comfortable. You know you want to make a change and pursue your passion, but there is a part of you that hesitates. Instead of taking action, you find yourself drawn to drama at work. The office gossip, the constant complaining about tasks, and seeking sympathy from colleagues when things don't go your way. You start to notice that you often ask for advice on how you improve your situation, but when solutions are offered, you dismiss them or find reasons why they won't work for you. You convince yourself that you're genuinely trying to change your circumstances and find yourself stuck in the negative cycle, putting strain on your relationships and hindering your own growth. So it's a battle between growth and comfort. Admitting it can be tough, but sometimes we find ourselves drawn to drama and pity parties. We might secretly enjoy the attention and sympathy we receive from others when we are going through tough times. It's like we are stuck in a loop, repeating the same patterns over and over again. One clear sign of this is when we ask for advice or solutions only to reject them when they are offered. It's a way of seeking attention and care from others, while convicting ourselves that we are trying to change. But in reality, nothing really shifts, and we end up putting a strain on our relationships. Instead, focus on setting and achieving small, achievable goals. Start by identifying one aspect of your life that you like to improve, whether it's your health, relationships, or career. Then break down the goal into small, actionable steps that you can work on each day. Negativity can cast a shadow over interactions, draining the energy and mood of those involved. Take, for example, that friend who always seems to focus on the downside of things. They might grumble about their job, relationship, or just about anything. Being around them feels draining, like you're constantly walking on eggshells. This toxic mindset not only affects those around us, but also weighs heavily on ourselves. It fosters a sense of hopelessness and makes it difficult to see solutions or find reasons to be optimistic. So if you find yourself always pointing out the negatives, try flipping the script. Next time you are about to say, "This is going to be boring," switch it to "Let's see how we can make it fun." You might just be surprised how much sunshine you can bring. Practicing gratitude and surrounding yourself with positive influences can help shift your perspective as well. Sometimes, without realizing it, we turn everything into a competition. We compare our experiences to others, trying to prove that we've had it worse or that our struggles are more significant. But pain isn't a competition. Whether it's physical or emotional, it's valid. When we dismiss someone else's pain or belittle their experiences, we invalidate their feelings and push them away. It's essential to be aware of these biases and recognize that everyone's struggles are valid, regardless of their circumstances. To overcome this competitive mindset, we need to practice empathy and understanding. Instead of trying to one-up someone else's pain, we should focus on connecting with them and offering support. Ask yourself how you would want to be treated in their position, and try to offer the same compassion for others. Reliability builds trust. If you're often breaking promises or not following through on commitments, it's damaging. This behavior can lead to a loss of respect and trust from those around you. For instance, imagine promising to help a friend move, but then backing out at the last minutes, leaving them stranded and frustrated. So learn to say no when you can't commit. Focus on what you truly can do. And last but not least is gaslighting. It's when someone tries to make you doubt yourself by twisting the truth. It can really mess with your head and make you feel crazy. If you want to know more, I've got a whole video explaining it. Recognizing our not-so-sunny habits isn't about guilt, it's about growth. We are all in this together, growing a little more each day. So let's keep those conversations open and make our garden a place where everyone wants to be. Thank you for your attention. Take care.